Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
A simple warning. We know many of you are planning a wedding right now. We may be tempted to drop an F-bomb or other descriptive words. Keep this in mind if you have small children in the room or are on a Zoom call. You've been warned.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Let's be honest, planning a wedding is tricky. And at Be Engaged and Inspired, we'll share our knowledge to help you navigate these tricky waters and leaving you feeling inspired.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. And now your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast, the political free zone. Here we only talk about weddings. I'm DJ Sam.
Oh, thank God. And I'm Kia from Engaged, Connecticut. It's Wednesday, Sam.
We got a busy show today, so we're just going to get straight at it. Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Be Engaged and Inspired Facebook group page. Go there and get your latest Wedding Tip Wednesday.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? A new line of luxurious lipsticks and lip glosses created with the intention of empowerment and coming into who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Dollar Tree is the nation's #1 destination for value shopping. All of their stores are well lit and crammed with all kinds of hidden treasures. Dollar Tree offers a plethora of merchandise that includes many national and regionally trusted brands. It doesn't matter if you're looking for housewares, dinnerware, candy, snacks, stationery, or holiday needs. You're going to find it at Dollar Tree. You can shop at your hometown store or shop online for exclusive offers, manufacturer closeouts, watch videos, and join their value Seekers Club. On top of all that, you can have your order shipped for free directly to your local store. To visit DollarTree.com, click on the link in the show notes to let them know we sent you. Doing so helps keep our podcast going. Dollar Tree.
Help us out. Make a donation now to help support this podcast. Please go to our anchor.fm profile, click Support This Podcast at the top of the page, or use the link in the show notes of this episode, or go to the Atmosphere Productions business profile on Venmo. Thank you for making a donation and helping support this podcast.
You're listening to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
Today's Wedding Tip Wednesday is food allergies. You like this one, Kia. Let your baker or cake maker know.
Yes, but you should also let your caterer know. Not just the cake baker.
That's true. That's right. If you have any food allergies, so your caterer, I got that right, correct. Baker, your cake maker, or anybody that's bringing food to your venue, let them know so that they can plan ahead.
And can I add one caveat to
Well,
this?
I'm not finished.
Okay, fine.
And make sure if you're having it at a facility that you tell them in advance if any guests have any food allergies so that they can be prepared for that too.
Oddly, we just had this conversation on Facebook. A whole bunch of vendors were discussing the fact that...
Oh, no kidding.
A lot of facilities have not been feeding our vendors very well.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a little hectic. And couples pay for their vendors to get fed.
Yes.
So asking your vendors if they have any allergies or if they're vegetarians or Presbyterians. That's a religious. Whatever's the one that only eats fish. But those are the things that are still important because as a bride and groom, you're still paying for that vendor. So you want to make sure they're paying and what you're paying and you're getting the food that they need.
And I don't want to labor this point, but this always happens is that the vendors are always served last, except at the facilities that Kia are at. And for me, because I'm an interactive DJ that likes to get everybody up and dancing right after dinner, if I'm being served when I'm supposed to be getting people up and dance, that's a conflict. So I just don't eat my meal. It's as simple as that because my job is to get people up dancing.
But the couple just paid for your meal,
which
is usually half or sometimes
it's expensive. It's expensive. They either have to toss my meal or pack it up and take it home, which during COVID now, nobody's doing that. Yeah. So you've just actually spent money that gone down the tube.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Okay, who sponsored our Wedding Tip Wednesday, Sam?
It's sponsored by Emerge Cosmetics. You can go to shopemergecosmetics.com and you can get 10% off their fantastic fantastic makeup line, and my wife actually just tried the lip gloss thing, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it.
Plus, it's a local company.
It's a local company, and if you're getting married and you want to use these products, make sure you go to shopemergecosmetics.com and get your 10% off.
Awesome. Okay, so I know we're going to talk about responsibilities, which we've done this bit before. We've done responsibilities of different members of the wedding.
This is part 2 of our series, our continuing series on wedding responsibilities. Firstly, we did the B&G, the bride and the groom.
Correct.
And now we're doing the parents' responsibility.
Oh, fun.
So, what really is the first thing? As soon as you're engaged, what should you do relating to the parents to tell them about the wedding?
So first of all, you tell them. Hopefully somebody's asked for somebody's hand in marriage or something.
And not a text, right?
Not a text. They shouldn't find it out on social media. But then the next question is to start having a genuine conversation of like, hey, mom and mom, dad and dad, whatever. Who are you inviting? Like, what is your vision? Here's our vision. And does our vision and your vision
come together
somewhere close? If it isn't, where's that compromise? Are they going to be spending any money helping you plan this wedding?
And that's both parents, because
both sets of parents.
In the old days, it used to be just the bride's parents, but those days are far gone now.
Far gone. And a lot of couples do put in their own money too. But I think having that conversation, I've had parents who say, look, I can cover photographer, I can cover DJ, and I'm going to cover rehearsal dinner, I'm going to cover dinner, but the rest is on you.
Yep.
So like those are some things you have to have those conversations.
Yeah, money is a very important issue that you need to bring up front. Not only who's paying, but what are you going to contribute? So are the groom's parents going to contribute X amount of dollars? Are the bride's parents going to pay for this, as you said? And what is the couple going to expend into this?
I think that's where things have changed over time.
Yep.
A lot of times couples say like, this is important to me. Like I have a groom who's like, a band is important. I'll figure it out.
Right.
I'll pay for the band. Let everybody else take care of everything else.
That's what I want.
Exactly. So I think part of it is having that conversation. And a lot of times people think, oh, it's like a horrible, uncomfortable conversation.
It's not.
It's really not. I mean, it can be a little, but it's really not horrible. And you tend to not waste money if you have a really clear plan.
As you already know, I have a daughter that just got engaged, my one and only. Yes. And one of before she got engaged, I actually told her that because she's been in the wedding business, she was my assistant for almost 10 years. She's seen weddings. She's seen the good and the bad side.
And the ugly.
Yes. One of the advantages of that, she's seen how people waste money. And I said to her, I'll give you X amount of dollars if you do a destination wedding and just invite a close amount of friends. I'll just give you the money, and you can do that.
Well, she's going to get the money anyways.
But that's the point.
You want a vacation in this too. It's always about you, Sam.
Of course, I wanted something out of it. So that's one way of approaching it. And another way is when we got married, my wife and I, we wanted to control everything. So we didn't ask any money for our parents because we wanted to do the wedding the way that we wanted without any input at all.
This is this very tricky part of it. There's couples who I'll have parents who say, well, we're paying for it, so why are we doing it this way?
Right.
We'll have couples who say, we're paying for it, please don't let our parents do this part of it. When I sit down with a couple, I say, okay, who gets to make decisions? Like, are surprises allowed? Are surprises not allowed? Are there additional things? Who's paying for these things? Because I think one of the worst things as a wedding vendor that you can do is show somebody something that they can't achieve and have.
Right.
And then be like, well, here you can have my plan B or C.
Yeah, it's champagne taste with beer belly.
Exactly.
Costs.
And whatever that saying is. I am an American, but not necessarily, so I don't know any of those sayings. One of the things that happens is that parents have their own expectations and the couple has their own expectations. So this conversation and communication is key.
It's very important.
And I think it's the responsibility of the couple and the parents, both sets of parents.
Yep.
And then you can make it a little bit more difficult if you have divorced parents. Let's just throw them in.
You had to complicate things, didn't you?
That's just who I am.
Yeah, because they are also responsible. They may all want to contribute something too.
They might want to contribute something, or they might want to take part. They might want to, like a step parent might want to invite one of their best friends to the wedding. I think once you have figured out how many people, what your budget is, and where you're getting married, I think as a couple, the nicest thing you can do to both sets of parents is say, this is all I can afford, but here are your 2 free couples. You don't have to explain who they are as guests, and you give this to both sets of parents. It should be equal.
Yep.
They cannot invite just random people
right.
who they see at a gas station.
Right.
They can't do it. But I think that, and parents sometimes think like, well, if I'm paying for it, I can just invite whoever I want.
Well, that's it. Does the money come with strings attached?
And sometimes it does.
And sometimes it does. So you really do have to communicate clearly and directly with parents or whoever else is contributing, because sometimes a grandparent may also want to make a down payment, let me say, on the wedding because they're able to do so. Does that come with some strings, or is that a gift?
And that's a question that as a couple you should ask. And I think as parents, you should really understand that ultimately at the end of the day, this is not your day.
Yes.
It is their day.
Yep.
So if you had a vision, but that's not who your daughter or son or whoever is, then you have to take a big, huge, deep breath.
Absolutely.
And realize. And you also have to be considerate of the fact that you are melding 2 families together.
Yeah.
Everybody has different taste. Everybody has different traditions, has things. You're bringing them together, and you can't just be like, nah, not going to do that.
Yeah.
You have to at least have the conversation.
Yeah. So there is, I guess I should ask you the question. Is there anything else that the parents of the bride and the parents of the groom need to do before the wedding reception?
There's a lot. So like a lot of times there'll be people somebody will host a bridal shower.
Okay. Yep.
Do you invite parents and your mom and your future mother-in-law and stepmother-in-laws and whoever to your bachelorette parties or bachelor parties? There's those types of questions.
Yeah, really.
It's a little hard to know. Then there's the question of like, how do you address all of this in invitations? And when we get to part 2, we can talk about invitations and that type of addressing stuff.
Yep.
But parents, one of the nicest thing they can do is say to their children, saying like, look, these are my expectations. My kids know my 2 expectations. I have 2.
Tell us.
In Estonian culture, we have a thing called perekonna waltz, which is a waltz that is an entire family, and everybody dances in a circle, and females get passed around, which now sounds...
I know, that does sound...
wrong.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, a little bit. But we're totally fine with it. And then they know for me, like, I have to walk down the aisle with them. Like, that's...
Of course.
As a mother of only sons...
Yes.
I fall into a category where typically I am not included in any wedding planning stuff, which I'm sure both of them are deeply afraid of the day that they fall in love with somebody.
So this was the next thing I was going to ask you after what else the parents have to do is, what responsibility does the mother of the groom have at a wedding?
I'm just going to get drunk and not make a scene. I'm kidding.
That's your only responsibility.
Those are my only responsibilities. Besides having the dance with your child, a lot of times mothers of the grooms really do get pushed aside.
They do.
And it's, it's a little hard. Like, you still get to have your dance with your daughter. Everybody says, oh, like daddy's little girl. It's like a big thing. And your wife gets to participate in a whole bunch of other stuff that I, in theory, wouldn't get to participate in.
Yeah.
But the people who decide to marry my children will know better, and I won't have to worry about this. But this is the problem. So I think a lot of times what happens is one side of the family takes over, and it can really make things more difficult and more conflicted on wedding day. And I think if people just sit down with both sides, bring everybody together, have a conversation, say what we're going to do. Oh, I can book where we're going to have rehearsal. That's my biggest thing. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about how I get to plan a rehearsal dinner for my children, and then some of my other responsibilities and other parent responsibilities.
And also, I've got a little bit of a checklist here of stuff to do before the wedding day and on the wedding day. So we'll kind of run through those, so make sure everybody is up to speed. But first, I want to remind you about the official New Bride Name Change Kit. It's a complete name change kit for new brides and same-sex marriage couples, containing instructions, checklists, and all government forms for you to complete. Plus, labels for your envelopes, and it's customized to your state and local jurisdiction. That's the best thing. Everything you need. Just open the pretty pink box and get ready to go from Miss to Mrs., Mr. to Mr., without any hassle at all. The official New Bride Name Change Kit. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast link in the show notes of this show, or visit atmosphere-productions.com, select the podcast link, and click on the namechangekit.com banner. Clicking the link doesn't cost you anything, but your purchase will help compensate us and keep this podcast alive.
Each week, the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast posts a new episode sharing wedding tips, knowledge, and speaking with wedding experts, all as a chance to help you navigate your way through planning your own wedding. Have a topic you want us to cover? Want to send us a message? Email us at engagedct@gmail.com, go to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast Facebook group page, or on anchor.fm and select message. Your message will be recorded and may be aired on a future episode.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast will be right back.
Let Here to the Moon Travel be your go-to specialist to avoid the headaches and stress of planning your trip. Hi, this is Michelle from Here to the Moon Travel. You can find us at heretothemoontravel.com. Travel and customer service is my passion, and having a one-on-one relationship is something that a virtual site really cannot provide. We are your personal booking resource for all your travel needs. We can assist with anything from your honeymoon, destination wedding, luxury travel, group, family, or corporate travel, and so much more. heretothemoontravel.com.
Engaged CT offers couples the opportunity to work with experienced wedding planners, one-of-a-kind wedding venues, along with design and wedding rentals. We plan real weddings for real couples. Located in West Hartford, serving all New England, look us up on Facebook and Instagram under Engaged CT and www.engagedct.com.
Hey, Sam, when it comes to finding the right professional vendor, it can seem overwhelming to know where to start.
It can, Kia, unless you use easyeventplanning.com, because they'll find perfect vendors for your event within your budget and deliver them right to your inbox. You can search through over 28 categories of party and wedding services. Get the details you need to narrow down your choices quickly with their category-specific profiles. Chat with vendors via text, audio, or video from any device.
EasyEventPlanning.com will make planning your wedding or event easy, from their extensive vendor directory to their free tips on favors, decorations, themes, and more. Contact them today at EasyEventPlanning.com.
Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge?
I bought this lipstick after my wedding trial with Lauren and instantly fell in love with it. It is smooth and creamy and the color is beautiful.
This is Lauren Simpson from Emerge Cosmetics, a professional makeup artist with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry. That's the reaction we're getting from our new line of carefully curated lip products that wear well and feel comfortable. These are a must-have for your collection. All products are made in the USA, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and most are vegan. Shop emergecosmetics.com for lipsticks and lip glosses that not only feel great but last for hours in an array of different colors. Free shipping on orders over $100. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Meadowbrook Estates and Mansion is located in Marlborough, Connecticut, perfectly situated between New York City and Boston. Our one-of-a-kind 10,500 square foot venue offers lodging for up to 30 guests and a stunning ballroom for intimate weddings. Looking to host a larger event? We have a gorgeous outside setting right next to our heated pool and small rambling brook. Contact us at Engaged Connecticut for more details.
Hey, Aaron Miller here from Aaron Miller Photography.
I'm Michelle from Destination Weddings Unlimited.
This is Marty Q.
I'm Donna from Creative Cakes by Donna, and I listen every week.
You should tell an engaged friend.
And I always listen to DJ Sam and Kia
on the Be Engaged and Inspired podcast. Jeff Ladd here from Tire Biter and Jeff Ladd DJ Plus.
This is Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography.
Tell an engaged friend or somebody planning an event.
I'm Lauren Simpson from LA Page Makeup, and I listen every week for the great tips and suggestions.
You should tell an engaged friend.
Every single Wednesday. And you know what? It's free.
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 Free on iTunes and Google Podcasts. I suggest you listen too.
You should listen too.
Everyone is talking about the DJ Pauly Show on YouShook.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Keith Urban, and you're listening to the #1 DJ on the planet, DJ Pauly.
What's going on, everybody? This is Charles,
Hillary,
and Dave, and we are
Lady Antebellum.
And you're listening to the #1 DJ on the internet. It's DJ Pauly, y'all.
Hey, y'all. I'm Kelsey Ballerini, and you're listening to the #1 DJ on the internet. It's DJ Pauly, y'all.
The DJ Pauly Show on YouShook.com. We dare to be different. Join us and see for yourselves.
Honey Fun. the world's #1 wedding registry. Honey Fund helps real couples realize their wedding and honeymoon dreams. Honey Fund's #1 online wedding gift registry makes it easy to give and receive the perfect wedding gift, one that reflects the couple's unique style and makes giving fun for the wedding guest. As the world's most popular crowdfunding site for weddings, honeymoons, and more, Honey Fund has helped hundreds of thousands of couples make their wedding dreams come true with an easy-to-use funding platform. Honey Fund, a gift card wedding registry that's as flexible as cash. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast link in the show notes or visit atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner. That's atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
When your wedding entertainment has to have amazing music, be fun, organized, and unforgettable, your choice has to be Atmosphere Production. Experience the difference. www.atmosphere-productions.com. That's www.atmosphere-productions.com.
DJs, live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Join us next week, Sam, for what?
Hey, next week we're going to talk about backyard weddings and how to start your planning and reviewing the logistics. That's all next week on the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Now back to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast, sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. With your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome back to Be Engaged and Inspired, the Wedding Podcast. We are discussing wedding responsibilities and the wedding responsibilities of the parents, what you need to know. And just as an aside, you can actually go to allthews.atmosphere-productions.com and go to our blog and go back to 2019, and there's actually a blog post featuring this.
Pre-2020, but okay. Sure.
Well, I know, but it has the same information. Go to our blog, and you can read this information if you like to reference back to it.
Yeah. So before the wedding, obviously, parents sometimes take part in getting a dress for the bride. Sometimes the brides are really close to their future mother-in-laws. They invite them as well. Hopefully that doesn't happen because I can't hide my expression on my face. I've tried. And then invitations and how people sit. That's a big thing that people don't think about.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. What's the insight in that?
You really should be having communications with both sides, saying who can sit next to each other.
Oh,
you don't know if there is some old ancient tiff, and those people cannot be at the same table. And if the couple doesn't necessarily know who they are,
right.
So,
you don't want any tribal war to break out at your wedding reception.
What are the McCoys and the
I
can't think of what
Turners and McCoys. No,
whatever it is. But
Hatfields and the McCoys.
There we go. That's what it is. But you don't want those types of issues happening.
No.
So you really should. Even if you don't include them in the process of it, both sets of parents should get to see who's sitting with who. Let's put it that way. So I know for me as the mother of 2 boys, I will have to do the rehearsal dinner. And this is a part that sometimes gets tricky. Who do you invite to rehearsal dinner? Do you invite the people who are all out of town? Do you invite their significant others? This is an ongoing debate that I see constantly online.
It is the wedding party.
It is the wedding party and their significant others.
Oh, okay. Significant others.
Should always be included.
Okay.
Because it's the same old rule. Like, they're living together, have been together for more than 5 years, or engaged. They should be the +1. And their names, they shouldn't just be a +1. They should be addressed.
Yep.
And then it is the question, like, hey, aunt and uncle just came in from out of nowhere. Do we include them? Do we not include them?
That's
and
for the
depends
rehearsal
on your
we're talking
budget.
about.
Yep. That's just an honest conversation that you have to have.
Yep.
Obviously, I think sometimes parents get wrapped into, like, what are the bridal parties things that they have to do? Like, are we going to go tux hunting today? Are we going to go bridesmaids hunting today? Like, are you included? Are you not included? You don't have to be, but...
Yeah, I never included the parents in that. That was just for the guys.
And then there is this old, the something borrowed, something blue, something that. If you're going to do that, then,
And both sets of parents can be involved in that.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Yep.
But then, obviously, comes wedding day. Dun, dun,
Yes.
Do you have, like, a cool sound effect you can put in, Sam? Parents in this part of it, what I have found as the years have gone on,
Yes.
Parents should really just enjoy the day, not micromanage it.
Right.
Your list has a few little micromanagey thingies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're getting married on like your family property and things like that, these are great tips, like helping make sure everybody's bouquets are in the right place, making sure decorations are set up, and you can sort of peek in and make sure everything under the tent or in the house is looking perfect. But if you're at a hotel getting your hair and makeup done, please do not leave to go check on something.
Yeah.
Hire someone to take care of that for you.
Should the parents be involved with that getting ready photo?
I think so.
They can do that too.
They should. I really like seeing photos of where moms help their daughter put on
I like that
their shoes or their necklace or whatever. I also like, which is becoming a little trendy, is a first look with a dad and daughter. Just Chloe.
We've already discussed this.
Are you gonna cry?
I probably.
Okay.
But
there is a little softy in you.
Oh. Deep down, deep in this hardened heart, there is a little bit of something in there. But I like that picture of the dad seeing his daughter first. I think it's a great picture.
I think it's a sweet moment. I think it's something that you will put up on a wall. It'll definitely be somewhere in your house. It's just a sweet thing. So one of the things that always sort of comes up is, do the parents make a toast? Do they not make a toast? Mm-hmm. I've had parents who made toasts. I've had dads who've been like, hell no. Nope.
Well, I have on my forms, my online planning forms, the welcome speech from the dad. I have it as a line item. So it's there to be picked if you want to do it. I think dad deserves that welcome speech.
I think moms deserve it too. But
well, usually I've seen the last couple of weddings, mom's gone up there as well and stood as support. But I also had a father of the groom wanting to say something as well. And I'd never done that before. I'm like, this is a good idea. Let him go up there and say something as well.
I had a father of the bride. So she was the youngest of 5 and she only had 4 older brothers. His welcome speech was 45 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
That was not appropriate.
Oh, never 5 minutes.
No, 5 to 7 minutes is my... leave some space for laughing.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Toasts, best man, everybody. 5 minutes done, and we're on to the next thing.
Exactly. I think also a lot of times, like, the bride's mother is the person who helps with, like, getting their dress bustled if their maid of honor hasn't done it.
The veil and all that type of stuff.
All that stuff.
It makes a great picture.
It does make a great picture. Parents sometimes take part in receiving lines. I think receiving lines and COVID have really ruined receiving lines.
Although I do love receiving lines. I had one at my wedding. It's a great way for the couple to say hi to everybody and be done with it. But with COVID, people are not doing that anymore. But I'm okay
with like couple and parents. I don't put all of your entire wedding party. Give them a break. Because most people don't know who every wedding party person is.
In the receiving line, yes, it should just be the couple and the parents. Yes, you're right.
Everybody else is just like a hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I don't know who you are.
You look lovely. Okay, cool.
If you don't know who I am by now.
Oh my God. That is my only other request for my children is that if...
Don't ever say that.
If they give a toast and they say those, I will literally stand up and like murder them on sight. Because like... My oldest ran his own wedding the other day, and he sent me saying somebody just started a wedding with, for those of you who don't know me.
And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, at the toast, don't stand up if you're giving a toast and say the very first thing out of your mouth, for those of you that don't know me...
They all know who you are.
My name is Susan, and I'm the bride's sister or friend or whatever. Trust me, everybody knows who the hell you are by that time. Mm-hmm. They
Absolutely.
do. So
and
skip that.
If they don't, they suck.
Somebody asked me, well, why don't I say that? I said, well, I just introduced you in the introductions. And
if you did your job correctly.
If I did my job correctly. And typically I say something about the couple as they come in. Yep. So everybody knows who you are. So saying that is not only redundant, you look stupid.
You do.
And
you're wasting your 5 to 7 minutes.
And all the other vendors in the facility, you hear they're waiting for you to say that, because they're gonna text, oh, somebody else said it again, or or we're gonna call each other. Trust me, we will make fun of you.
We will. No, I agree with that part of it. I also think that sometimes it downplays your own significance.
Yeah.
You just met everybody. You've been hanging out with them for like the last at least 2 hours.
Then you go and introduce yourself.
Like it's a little late to the party. Anyways, I think ultimately once the wedding is up and going, parents they're very, very important. They should take part in things, but they're also sort of like a buffer. I use parents a lot if there's an issue, like an aunt is upset or an uncle is upset or somebody doesn't know what they're going. Sometimes I'll go to the parents and be like, hey, can you come help solve this with me?
Yes.
A lot of times I'll go, if the couple has said, hey, can my mom collect my gifts? Like we'll go ask for like dad's car, try to find it. Thank God for buttons that make their car blink in the driveway or parking lot. And we put their things in. And then at the end of the day, I mean, parents do what parents do. They're like the last one out picking up all the crap that you as a couple left behind.
It is. I mean, you've kind of wrapped it up nicely there. The parents should be, as the hosts, the final ones to leave. They're making sure, even if you're at the venue, that everything's been taken. Everything's out of that facility, including the couple. Everybody has a ride home.
Yes.
Because that's sometimes
if you don't have a planner, then that's what ends up on your parents.
Sometimes the guys in the wedding party have forgotten to bring their car or forgotten a ride, and they're left in the parking lot. Hey, can you take me home?
Yep.
They're jumping in the back of my van.
I've done that. You're not supposed to say that anymore.
They're not supposed to. So the parents should be the last ones to leave after they've checked everything. Yeah. Good point.
And I think the thing too is for parents, a lot of times it's like a great comfort. It's like that.
Yes.
Like it's all done. It was great. We had a great time.
Wrap it up. Throw the key away.
At the last wedding a few weekends ago, the bar was set to a certain time. We still had an hour to go. So there's this weird half an hour lull time. I went over to Dad. I said, hey, this is what it's going to cost. Do you want to cover this? Do you not want to cover this? Did you guys have this plan? Dad was like, thank you for coming to me, not going to them. Awesome. We got it.
You see.
And parents do what they're supposed to do.
So parents, one of your responsibilities is not leave right after the first toast or first dance. No. Stay there until the very end.
And have fun.
That's it. We wrapped that up nicely.
We did. I guess you have like no parting words except thanking our sponsors and you just shaking your head at me.
Yeah, because I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, look, see, you're already, Chloe, he's already ready.
Thanks to our sponsors, EasyEventPlanning.com, Meadowbrook Estate, Emerge Cosmetics, Here to the Moon Travel, Destination Weddings Unlimited, Dollar Tree, Honey Fund, and the official new bride name change kit.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
And we will be back next Wednesday. And remember, if you have any questions or topics that you want us to cover, please send us an email to engagect@gmail.com. And you can download us wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. This podcast is produced and copyright by Atmosphere Productions in association with Engaged Connecticut.